Hello, this is the first in a series of short videos explaining the blend modes in Procreate and how you can use them in your illustrations. First up, and in no particular order, we're going to look at colour burn. It's meant to be similar to the look you get when you burn a photograph to darken it during the development process of old-fashioned photography. Extra light was applied to the areas of the photo which needed to be darkened. It works by looking at the blend colour, so this layer here, the top one, and it darkens the base colour, this colour here, depending on how much contrast there is between the two colours. So if you use this really dark grey, this isn't 100% black, it's a dark grey. So if we change this layer to colour burn, you get a really dark effect as we've almost blended pure black onto it. As you adjust it down through the lighter shades of grey, so I've got this one here, a slightly lighter shade, you get a more subtle effect depending on how dark a grey or lighter grey you're using, because you're decreasing the amount of contrast between the two colours. So here's one way that I use colour burn in my illustrations, like on this drawing here. Let's change the background to something a bit nicer than white. Okay, so because colour burn has a darkening effect, it's really useful to use for shading, especially as it means you can easily switch out your colours without having to keep adjusting your shading layer. So let's add some texture to these flowers. So I'm going to add a layer above the petals. I'm going to tap and apply a clipping mask to it. I'm going to change my brush to this shading texture, and for the colour I'm going to use this mid-grey here. You could also go over onto the colour disc and then double tap right here to snap to that mid-grey if you wanted to. And then on this layer, and you'll see to start with, it's just going to draw with this dark grey colour. But if we come here and change the blend mode to colour burn, you'll see we get this really nice shading effect, which is a perfect match for the colour of the petals. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these. So that's a bit of shading added to both these layers, including the yellow bits here. Once you have all your colour laid down, you might want to go and adjust the opacity a little bit, because this isn't quite as subtle as I'd like it to be at the moment. So we'll bring the opacity down on this one. And there you can see we get a more subtle effect there. To change the colour, all you need to do is alpha lock your base layer. This is already alpha locked, but you can toggle that on and off by swiping with two fingers like that. And then if we come down to this layer, we can choose different colours and fill the layer like that. And as you can see, this always creates perfectly colour matched shading over it. You could also, if you want to, change the colour in a more intuitive way. You could come up here to the hue and saturation, and you can change the colour using this as well. So that's just one way I use the colour burn blend mode in my illustrations. How do you use it in yours? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video then please consider subscribing, and if you want to take some more in-depth classes from me then head over to my Top Teacher channel on Skillshare, where you can find my classes on surface pattern design and illustration. Thank you for watching, have fun, stay creative, and I will see you next time.